Sean, it feels like we just finished the season, but I know it's been like over a month. What are you up to now? How's life?
Stop lying. Stop lying. You
Welcome
went on
back.
a cruise. You went on a cruise
Yep.
and you went without me. And
I'm
the
sorry.
fact that I was not invited on the cruise is just mind-boggling. I think I could have added something. I mean,
Yeah.
I understand that I'm not really, I didn't attend BYU. I didn't go to BYU, but I feel like I'm at least an honorary member now.
Absolutely. If we were handing out like BYU Sports Nation diplomas or doctorates, if you will, I don't think we have that power. Maybe we do. I don't know. Let's look into it. I think you'd have one. So in 2027, they're going to the Caribbean. And I think you should be there. I think Trevor Matich should be there for football, and you should be there for basketball.
I would be down. I mean, I definitely would be in to have a celebration of all celebrations. And it was like one of those things where you feel like, like you're missing out. The FOMO was real. And then to compound that with Chucky Kempf sending me a picture from the box where he was calling the BYU baseball game and 9 cougar tails all lined up in front of him, I just felt like people were trying to troll me. I thought you guys were trying to troll me. And I was like, this is disrespectful, and I feel like I'm not being appreciated the way that I should right now.
I don't know that people named Chucky can be trusted. That's just me. But, let's talk about BYU men's basketball. And maybe next time you'll be on the cruise. That'd be really fun, honestly. That'd be
fun. We'd have a good time.
The offseason is chock full of interesting stuff because BYU is compiling a roster that they think could compete at the highest level. John Rothstein said yesterday, hey, Final Four should be the expectation. And that's our question of the day. Should BYU fans have the goal and expect a Final Four with this roster?
Yes. There you go. The answer is yes. My bosses, in fact, I was having a postseason breakdown conversation with my bosses, and I said, so what's your thoughts on next year? They said, sure hope you like Provo, Sean.
You're like, yeah.
I was like, I don't know if you know this. I kind of do. It's going to be big. And look, I think here's where it starts for me. I think you start with Richie Saunders, to be honest with you. He is going to be a preseason All-American. If not first team, certainly within the mix of those first 3 teams, I would imagine, based on his performance from this past season. And so you start with that experience, that known commodity. Then you add to it AJ, who is a generational talent and the highest recruit ever to show up on campus, and a guy that can really hurt you in a variety of ways. His athleticism is unique. It's something that has been lacking a little bit on some of the roster constructions over the years since I've been covering BYU. He adds that dimension of that elite level pro athlete that can just really take over a game and knows how to score the basketball and get to his spot and make sure he can elevate up to get to his shot or finish out in transition with some highlight reel dunks. Then you add into it, okay, the big question mark then was going to be who was going to be the point guard. And you go out and get Robert Wright, who was one of the best guards in all of the Big 12 this year at Baylor as a freshman, and undoubtedly with more seasoning and now a different system, I think his numbers are going to increase and has more talent around him. Now, I mean, obviously, Baylor's anticipation was he was returning. He decided to open it back up. And when he decided to open back up, I mean, BYU is a great fit for Robert Wright. Familiarity of conference, understanding what it takes to be, how it feels to be guarded in this conference by teams like Houston. And he's already felt that. He's already experienced that. It's not going to be new for him. So that'll allow him to get into the flow of this offense very quickly. His speed, his end-to-end court speed, his ability to make shots. I think it fits really nicely. And then the next concern, the next level of concern, I wouldn't say necessarily concern, but hole that you wanted to fill was to find guys that could knock down shots on a consistent basis. And they did that with Kennard and Tyler. Those two guys both shoot over 36, 37% from beyond the arc. Tyler, 75% of his makes are from beyond the arc. Kennard is more of a proficient scorer and had 16 points per game last season. Like these are filling the hole of roster construction. Like I think we talk about a lot. Like we make fun of Seth Greenberg sometimes on ESPN because he always talks about roster construction. But roster construction isn't alone just is accumulating talent. It's filling in the holes and the gaps in which you have on your roster. And they were able to do that through the transfer portal this year. I think Dominique is going to be a very interesting prospect, a guy that had a lot of highly touted eyes on him before he went to Washington and now coming in to BYU. Again, good length, I mean, you're talking about guys that are 6'7" here, so you've got length that not only helps you offensively with getting off your shot, but it allows the defense to be more disruptive with their hands out wide, and hopefully improve on that area of the floor as much as they're trying to improve at the offensive end and kind of replicate what they were able to accomplish this year, because this year's offense was pretty darn good as well. Then you add in size with like Xavion, who I am very high on. I've been very high on him. I've talked to you guys about this. I know how he was coached on the club circuit by Russell White, who's the head coach of Cal Lu, a Division III program out here in California. He's relatively new to the game, Xavion, but like his length and anticipation and a rim protector adds another dimension that this roster didn't have. So you've got some experience. You've got guys that understand what their roles can be. And some of those guys that didn't play a lot last year, they're going to have expanded out roles this year. But you're adding in depth, and then you're adding in quality in particular. And, you know, we talk about the big three. Do you have a big three? Yes, you do. Robert Wright, AJ, and Richie. Those are your big three. And those guys are going to be able to manufacture points and play with such a good energy about them that it starts to become infectious. And I talked to Richie about this, and I didn't obviously know if he was going to come back or not. I talked to him on the final home game when I was there, and I said, Richie, like, if this is it, if this is the last time I get to cover you, man, it's been a pleasure, because your growth has been incredible. And the most important attribute that Richie Saunders has is he plays harder than everybody else every single game. You'd be hard-pressed to go look at a game and go, geez, who's the hardest playing person on the floor, and not pick Richie Saunders. And so when that's your guy, and everybody knows that that's the guy, it's very similar to how I felt with Earl Watson at UCLA. You have to match his energy. You have to match his work ethic. You have to match what he brings every single night. And he was playing 39 minutes a night. I anticipate Richie Saunders can be pretty darn close to that by the time the season comes to a close next year. But I think the anticipation should be high. I think this is a Final Four team. And I'm grateful that I like Provo, because I think I'm going to be spending a lot of time there next year.
Heck yeah. Might as well get a townhome or something at this point.
I'm just moving into your house.
Might as well. Hey, we're trying to finish the basement. So, yeah, if you want to contribute there, let's go.
I mean, I'm good with blow-up air mattress like bed too. Like, I'm not a high-end guy, you know? I mean, I'm pretty simple. You know what? Quiet as kept. Provo has some of the best Thai food in the country.
There you go. You're a Thai food guy. Okay.
Well, I'm not really, but Dave Fleming is like a vegetarian. And so, like, we have to find restaurants that can, like, work for both of us. There's a Thai restaurant that's right around the corner from the hotel we normally stay at. Really good.
Okay.
Really good.
Downtown Provo. I like that. It's May 7th, but I think people wish it was November 7th right now, so we could play some ball based on what you just said. Final Four expectation. That's wild. BYU is putting together
do you not disagree? Do you disagree?
I want to get excited,
you said it's wild.
It is wild. Well, it's not wild because of what you laid out in this roster construction. That's as good of a roster as anybody in the country, which is amazing. Kevin Young continues to exceed expectation in terms of he's come in and raised the vision. This place has won a lot of games. They've had National Players of the Year. They've had Sweet 16s. But to say, like, the expectation, not like, we hope, that's a nice goal. Like, no, you should expect that. It's just so high above what we've been used to. We're 2 seasons removed from losing to, like, Pacific and being like, well, that happens. Not anymore. Yeah. You know what I mean? Well, like, you've seen all this too.
I have. Listen, I would say this. This is the perfect storm, right?
Yes.
You have NIL come into the marketplace. You have a coach that is young, who comes and young, actually, legitimately last name Young, but also young.
There you
go. And comes from the NBA and has this amazing pedigree. Then comes out in his first season and has this incredible offense, this incredible flow, and you can close your eyes and you can imagine what it would look like to play in that system as a recruit, as a prospect, as a transfer. And then all of a sudden you get AJ. And the second, and I told you guys this, I told you when you got AJ, I said the ripple impact of this will be in the transfer portal. I didn't know what that ripple was going to be, but when Robert Wright said, "Hey, I'm going to BYU,"
that said a lot.
To me, that was the okay. They could be there. They could be there next year in the Final Four, and it's because of the skill set and the fact that Richie came back and didn't go to the NBA. All of those things come together. You now have a perfect storm. And when you look at the roster makeup of teams that have had success in modern day college basketball, you have to have experienced stars. Does this team have experienced stars? Yes. Okay, you have to have some NBA prospects. Does this team have NBA prospects on it? Yeah, more than one. More than one, because Richie certainly is one. AJ's one. Robert Wright is one. I think Xavion's going to end up being one. People are going to be watching this year and going, wait, hold on. He's got good mobility. He can show on-ball screens. He can protect the rim. He's still raw offensively, but they can develop that. He still needs to put on weight, but he's developing that. There's some things there that I think are going to be very exciting for NBA teams to come watch. And now you've got the stage. Now you've got the national eyes on you. There's a couple things that need to improve. Obviously, the non-conference schedule. I believe that's going to improve. I think productivity in conference play, if it remains exactly the same, would be perfectly fine, to be honest with you. I'm not saying you're going to win the Big 12. You could, maybe. But, you're going to be a top finisher in the Big 12 conference like you've been now for the first 2 years that you've been in the conference. You've exceeded expectations. I don't anticipate that that's going to change going into this year, which then means that you're probably going to the NCAA tournament as a 1, 2, at the worst, maybe a 3 seed. Those are all teams that have a legitimate chance to make a run to a national championship.
Yeah.
So if that's where you're at, I think roster construction and how it's all put together gives you an opportunity in today's modern college basketball where we have so much turnover and so many guys leave and come and go. There's a lot of teams that you're probably going to say, hey, they're Final Four good. St. John's Final Four good right now? Yeah, on paper, they're Final Four good. There's no doubt about it. Let's see how they look when they get out on the floor together. So right now, as we talk here on May 7th, we can sit here and say, hey, they're Final Four good, and that they have the potential to get to a Final Four. Now they got to go prove it. They got their work ethic over the course of this summer, their camaraderie that needs to be built. You're going to miss a guy like Trevin Knell because he was an institution within BYU's program.
Yeah.
And so you're replacing him with very talented players, but now those guys got to fall in line with how things are done at BYU. And that's different. And that's the makeup of the roster, why it's really important to get guys that fill in holes, but it's also important that they get to spend time with each other and start to truly develop that. And if this team does, they could be at the Final Four next year. And it should not be a surprise to anybody. And so I think you go into the year based on what you've seen so far and what our eyes have told us about Kevin Young and his program to say, hey, this could be a program that is built not only for this year, but is going to continue to show up and show out and put guys in the NBA, and the financial backing is there. And as long as that financial backing continues to be there, BYU is going to be in the mix for a lot of the top recruits in the country.
Kevin Young has not given us any evidence that he cannot do something up to this point. It's been unbelievable. We have about 20 seconds left. Yesterday, AJ DiBonsa served food at McDonald's in Provo. You seem like a healthy guy, Sean. Would you buy a burger from McDonald's if you could go through and hang out with AJ?
No, because I'm counting on your production staff in that back room to set me up with a one-on-one interview very soon with AJ. So I don't need to go to McDonald's for that. And while I do appreciate the French fries at McDonald's,
no ice cream cone, nothing.
That's pretty much where I stop at McDonald's these days. At 47, Jeremy, the cholesterol starts to hit a little different, and you've got to maintain good physical fitness and good health. And I'm not looking to go on any prescription medications for cholesterol, so I'm trying to eliminate all of that.
Yet you love donuts. Just saying.
Hold on. I do not love donuts.
You love cougar tail.
I love the cougar tail.
I see you. Sean, we always appreciate the time, and I'm sure we'll talk soon again.
I look forward to it. Here's the thing, and I know we're against it, but I'm just going to tell you this. The fact this team is so good means you guys might get an earlier dose of Farnham next year. Could we be in November? Could we have an early Farnham show up every week on BYU Sports Nation?
It could be earlier than Big 12 play. Yep, I see what you're saying.
I'm just saying.
Plant the seed. Johnny Appleseed, that's what they called you in middle school.
Just watering it. Just watering it.
Just little sack over the shoulder. Just flinging ideas.
Let's see what we got.
Sean, thanks for the time.
You're the best.